Hi everyone, it's Rax. I want to show you a super cool version of the brand new DMO change that came this patch for Wizards. And if you've got high anxiety, you may want to shut off this video because the entire point of this video is to play as you're nearly dead all the time. But we'll get to that in a second. So first of all, let's talk about DMO itself. It stands for Delzier Magnum Opus or whatever that's called. That's why it's called DMO. This build has been around for a long time in the set, but you used to have to manually apply your little slow time bubbles to deal damage, and it was really annoying. And with the changes that Blizzard has made this patch, they pretty much apply automatically as you attack. As you see, I've got bubbles everywhere. So that is one of the fantastic changes. And usually with DMO, you play Frozen Orb, which, we're getting our Diablo 2 nostalgia here, and the orbs look extremely cool. Just never has been extremely powerful. However, I'm playing what's called the Shimizu version, which there's an armor called Shimizu's Harori, or however the hell you say it. And the way it works is if you have very low life, you're guaranteed to crit. So being guaranteed to crit is a huge, huge, huge damage increase at the cost of being about ready to die at any moment. Now, Wizards can take extreme advantage of this because most of their defense relies on shields. So they try to block all incoming damage. And so what I've done on my Wizard is I have rolled off every single crit hit chance roll on every piece. I don't have any anywhere. And instead, I have taken defensive options to try to protect my shield, so I've got quite a bit of life, and I have a lot of defense. In fact, I have 1 billion toughness standing in town. So I've got a pretty tanky wizard, as you see me running around with 1 HP. But that's not really the hard part. The hard part, it's not that hard to walk out there, proc, sit at 1 HP, and then apply your shields, and then carry on and just try to survive. The problem is you also have to take away every single form of life recovery in the game. That means you cannot have a single point of life per second. You can't have life on kill. You also can't even have bonus to health globes. Because unfortunately, when you're playing the setup, you're going to notice the monsters drop health globes everywhere. And if you pick them up, well, I think the threshold is 25%. If you go above 25% health, you have crucified your damage and you have to reset the entire thing, and it can be quite annoying. You only have so many cheat deaths to do that with, right? So this is really not a hardcore viable strategy, although I get a sneaking suspicion that somehow next season, at the very end, I will put together a DMO Shimizu wizard in hardcore, and I will try it just because I don't know, I guess because I hate myself or whatever, but I'm sure I am going to put myself up to the challenge and try it. So, you not only have to dodge all the health globes, you not only have to take out every single form of recovery in the entire game, including your Paragon points, but hilariously enough, you also have to be a pretty high Paragon level to even play this build. Because guess what? Every single time you level up in this game, they give you full health. I cannot tell you how many times leveling up has ruined my experience playing this game, and actually it's going to ruin one of my strategies in this clear, as you're going to see. So this is actually the second highest DMO clear out there right now, and let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. So I spam Diamond Skin whenever it's up. That's just to give me survivability. I've got my Storm Armor active. This is, of course, triggering my Halo of Karini, which is keeping me alive. Teleport is just to move around. Magic Weapon Deflection, once again, to stay alive. The Shock Pulse, you throw that to not only generate your arcane power, but also to stack your 3 stacks off of the offhand. And then, obviously, Frozen Orb to deal all of your damage. One critical thing you must understand about this build is most of Frozen Orb's damage occurs on the explosion itself. So you throw the orb, and about half a screen later, it explodes. You need that to land in all of the density and on top of the elites. If you stand right next to him and you throw the orbs and it explodes, 5 yards behind them, you effectively have done 0 damage. So you'll notice that I'm always staying very far back, trying to get the frozen orbs to detonate on top of the biggest density. So what happened here was, on the right side, I spawned a conduit, and this map is so gigantic, I decided to whirl around the back and bring all these elites down here. And then I also have a shield, and a shield pylon is actually quite annoying for me, because if I take the shield, and then I accidentally pick up another health globe, as you can see, my health is almost high enough to ruin my big damage. So I really have to dodge all of these health globes. The shield just makes it harder. I got to teleport to town to drop my shield and then come back, and then I have to die, and then I have to back out and try to survive and get my shields back up and then go back in. It's just a huge waste of time. So I'm almost waiting for, I'm essentially waiting for me to mess up. I'm waiting for me to accidentally step on a health globe, get my health too high. Look at, oh, see right there? See how the monster threw a health globe right at me? So now things have gone quite badly. So now I'll take my cheat death. Now I'll bring my HP to 1, and now is a good time to take the shield. So since I knew at some point some random monster was going to hit me with a health globe I didn't want, that's why I waited. So now what I want to do is I want to thin out all of this trash, and I want to slowly kite these elites up and to the right, and then I'm going to take the conduit that I spawned, and I'm going to get the most ridiculous progress bar ever. But I was not paying attention to this during the rift. Look at my XP bar, guys, in the bottom middle. I'm about to level up, and this is going to absolutely ruin my strategy. By the way, something very funny that you probably have to do if you play this build. Do you notice how my potion is bound to numpad 8 or whatever? I had to actually bind the key off of my normal key because I have such a reflex to potion when I'm low health that I had to actually unbind it. Okay, so since I leveled up there, it put me at full health, and I have my cheat death up, and I have a shield pylon, so I can't easily recover from this bad situation. I just had to click the Condi now, and I had to abandon that yellow up there. So this is not exactly what I wanted to happen at all, but I'm trying to make the most of a bad situation. So once again, leveling up completely screws me over, and now would be a good time to gobble up all of the health globes. When you're at full health, run around and grab all the health globes. That way, when you actually trigger your cheat death and you're back at 1 HP, there aren't all these, like, think of them as like little landmines. They're actually booby traps trying to ruin your day. By the way, you don't have to play this version. You don't have to play the Shimizu version. You can play whatever you want. This is just probably the version that gives you the most damage, but if you don't want to deal with it, just instead throw like a Frostburn in your cube or something, and that would be fine for more cold damage. So we killed all of the elites except for the Nemd elite and this yellow one. I should be able to kill him in a reasonable amount of time. I don't exactly know what he's doing. He's just sitting there letting me murder him. That's fine. I will take it. And we've got a pretty good lead, and this build is pretty decent on the boss, so I'm feeling okay about our chances here so far. So, by the way, that's a pretty insane map. If they had let me play exactly how I wanted to play, if I had not leveled up there in the middle of my clear, I may have been able to one-floor it. The progress from the yellow and this little trash right there and that little trash right there, it would have been real close. All right, we've got a terrible map. We got a speed pylon. We got I guess, a decent mob type. Notice how I let the monsters nearly kill me before applying my shield, and now I can actually play again. So that was pretty good. It's always amazing if you can get really low on HP without triggering your cheat death, because if you do that, then, well, if something goes wrong, I don't know, 20 seconds later, then you can die on purpose, proc the cheat death, teleport out, rebuild your shield, and then go again. So I was pretty happy with how that went. Was able to trigger it without proccing my cheat death. And of course, there's a health globe right in the middle. Now I'm thinking to myself, do I want this speed? And the reason why I was thinking of taking it is because I was thinking about just running out of the map. I'm like, I don't really know if I can get progress here. I need a lot of density, and I need probably a better mob type, right? But then I was like, you know what? Maybe I can kill these guys. Very indecisive. This map is just so bad. Hard to know exactly what you need to do. But I ultimately decide, let's fight here for a moment. I don't think I can kill the blues in a reasonable amount of time, but if I can kill this trash pretty quickly. Okay, and this is going better than I thought. So we're already at 96, 97. This is going pretty good. Okay, it looks like I picked up a health globe there maybe, but I think I'm still low enough to get my damage buff up. No problem. Okay, so just keep on blasting. And you're going to see something really, really funny on the Rift Guardian, something that I completely forgot about. So the Rift Guardian, remember this build is throwing up slow times everywhere, right? And so I'm about to spawn Orlash. And Orlash shoots like a laser beam of fire toward you. And I forgot that my slow time essentially gathers up all of his fire attacks in one little pixel, which means if you go and accidentally step in it, you are going to get microwaved essentially instantly. So you're going to see that happen to me pretty soon. So running through the hallway, I stepped on a stray little health globe, so now my health is way too high, so I need him to kill me. There he goes. Perfect. Now I step away and I apply my shields, and they just apply just as you step away. And now we should be good to go. As long as I don't let him kill me, and as long as I don't step on these stray little health globes, we should be good. Now what I should have done, which might have been a little bit smarter, is I should have picked up the health globes first and then let him kill me. But luckily there aren't too many laying around here, so we should be fine. So this build is actually pretty mobile. You just rotate between your generator and your orb. You generate to keep, so you can keep throwing orbs, and also to proc your focus and restraint, and also to proc your offhand. And yeah, I'm just content here just to sit around and circle around him and keep blasting him. Again, remember, the frozen orb explosion deals all of the damage, right? So look at my positioning in reference to Orlash. I'm always very, very, very far. Oh, look at my face. I'm like, did you see that aha moment? I was like, how did he just want? Oh, the slow time bubble. He just hit me with like 5,000, I don't know, physical or fire attacks, whatever they are. I think they're physical. Whatever they are. He hit me with like 5,000 physical attacks in 1 millisecond and just barbecued me. Okay, well, I'm not going to make that mistake again. So, again, just dancing around Orlash and throwing the orbs. Anyway, I would say before this patch, I would say DMO was one of my least favorite sets for any class. It was so clunky. It was such a bad quality of life. I hated playing it. I have to be honest, with the automatic slow time bubbles and playing this Shimizu build, other than leveling up in the middle of my run, I think this is pretty cool. I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you in the next one for more wizard action. Later.